Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the totally fascinating and honestly highly supernatural world of Narciso Olalo. He's a self-proclaimed divine instrument, and we're going to use his own documents, online testimonies, and recorded statements to unpack exactly what he claims. Now, we aren't here to judge or endorse him. We're just here to figure out what he believes, how he operates, and why so many people are drawn to him. It's a wildly captivating story that blends deep religious faith with some pretty striking encounters with the paranormal. To help us navigate through his wild stories, we've broken his claims down into 5 key themes: ang instrumento ng Diyos, the power of mind, overcoming human fear, uncovering hidden sins, and lastly, the ultimate message. So let's kick things off with section 1, ang instrumento ng Diyos, or the chosen vessel. According to his own records, Olalo experiences these incredibly specific prophetic dreams. Take this one story, for instance. He recounts getting a divine instruction to literally walk into a local horror house just to save a woman inside. He claims he went right in, totally aware the actors were just trying to scare him, physically disarmed a fake ghost, and then just woke up laughing. It really sets the stage for a guy who claims to interact with divine mandates in totally everyday settings. But here is where it gets absolutely fascinating: his strict ethical code. In his official documents, there's a divine mandate written out in all caps. He is allowed to heal, he is allowed to preach, but he is strictly forbidden from collecting a single cent. He deeply believes that God is the one doing the actual healing. He's just the unpaid physical instrument making it happen. Which naturally brings up a massive question. If he is so strictly forbidden from making money off his divine gifts, why in the world does this faith healer openly admit to hanging out at the casino? Well, he actually addresses this contradiction head on. Olalo says he operates on a strict zero balance policy. He absolutely refuses to hoard wealth. He explains that if his bank account goes over exactly 4,000 pesos before his standard monthly payday, he just gives the excess away. When he hits big at the casino, he claims he literally gives the cash to others or just keeps playing until he's given it all back to the house. For him, the casino isn't about getting rich at all. It's basically a bizarre testing ground to prove to God and to himself that earthly money has zero power over him. Moving right along to section 2, the power of mind, seeing beyond the physical. Olalo talks a lot about something he calls the power of mind. And to be clear, he doesn't mean some magic trick or cold reading. He defines this as a direct, God-given spiritual link. He claims he can look at you and instantly see your entire life story, and more importantly, your deepest, most closely guarded hidden sins. And it doesn't even stop with the living. He claims this power extends to spirits, meaning he can literally see the sins of people who have been dead for a very long time. That brings us perfectly to section 3, overcoming human fear, confronting the supernatural. You see, Olalo draws a super sharp contrast between normal human fear and his own absolute fearlessness. He looks at things like worrying about the future or religious control as manufactured fear. His response to all of that? Total, unwavering faith. Because he believes God is standing right beside him, he goes around mocking actors in horror houses and willingly throws himself into some genuinely terrifying supernatural situations. To give you a perfect example, he leans into Filipino folklore and recounts this time he literally chased down a wakwak, which is this mythical vampiric bird. While all the neighbors were absolutely terrified, he chases this thing straight into a pitch-black cemetery. And just to test himself, he decided to sleep alone right there on a tombstone. His argument is simple. If God is with you, there is absolutely zero reason to fear the dark, the dead, or the supernatural. And this fearlessness, it happens right inside his own home too. He casually tells this incredibly intimate story about getting up to use the restroom at dawn. He walks into the kitchen, sees a figure at the sink, and just assumes it's his mom. He walks right up, pulls back the curtain, speaks to her, and then realizes the spirit standing there is actually his deceased sister. Most people would be running out the front door screaming, right? Olalo's reaction was completely calm. He uses the story to prove that you can't let fear dictate your life, even if you're literally confronting a ghost in your own kitchen. Okay, let's jump into section 4, uncovering hidden sins, the prerequisite for healing. This might honestly be his most shocking recurring theme. Olalo claims that he cannot physically heal a person until their spiritual slate is forcefully wiped clean. In one major recorded testimony, a paralyzed nun was brought to him, but instead of just praying over her quietly, he claims he used his power of mind to bluntly and publicly expose her darkest secret. It was a 35-year hidden affair with a priest that literally no one knew about. According to Olalo, the nun completely broke down, confessed everything, and incredibly was able to walk shortly after. Now, you might be thinking, why be so brutal about it? Well, he summarizes his method perfectly with this phrase: God built your faith so you could heal. He truly emphasizes that shockingly revealing someone's private sins is God's way of forcing the patient into undeniable faith. And once you have that absolute undeniable faith established, the physical healing can happen in an instant. And that leads us right into our final part, Section 5, the ultimate message, salvation and judgment. When you strip away all the intense ghost stories, the casino trips, and the shocking public exposures, what's left is actually a very simple, traditional call to action. He believes God really only wants 3 basic things from us: to repent for the sins we've committed, to renew our Christian lives, and to have great faith in Him. But he definitely applies this judgment on a much larger scale too, pointing that power of mind at the highest levels of government. Olalo explicitly warns that corrupt politicians obsessed with stolen wealth are facing certain eternal damnation. For him, this completely validates his zero-balance policy. Earthly money and political power, they just bring spiritual destruction. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you pondering Narciso Olalo's ultimate provocative warning. Through all his claims of confronting spirits and exposing decades-old scandals, his core thesis is really just that the divine sees absolutely everything. There are no locked doors. So if his worldview holds true and every single hidden sin and quiet mistake will eventually be brought into the light, what are you still trying to hide? Thanks so much for joining me to explore the wild world of Narciso Olalo. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.